Here's another segment of my diecast collection, 1/43rd scale. Most of these buses are Dinky Toys, but I want to start with this Tootsie Toy Greyhound bus from the 50s. And this is made out of a galvanized type metal, which doesn't hold the paint very well, and this is well played with. But this is what the Greyhound buses looked like in the 50s. The exhaust port is in the back, and it would be a white paint on the roof with blue and then silver at the bottom. The front holds the driver and some seating. Then you go up a short flight of steps to the upper deck where the majority of seats took place. And below in these hatches would be where the luggage would be stored. But anyway, this is what a Greyhound bus used to look like. And again, this is a well played with toy. Next we have a Duper Roadmaster bus by Dinky Toys. The only thing I did with this particular model is to replace the white rubber tires, which had dry rotted. And this is in original colors. It's a good model. We have an observation coach here, much like the Greyhound bus. Has a double deck on it. This is a bus that I believe that it was just dreamed up by Dinky Toys draftsman. It doesn't represent a real bus, but it's kind of a neat model, and it came in several color combinations. Next we have Viceroy bus, and this is a smaller scale compared to the 1/43rd scale buses. As you can see, it's got tinted glass and the seats in there. It's got the sunroofs, and it's a representation of a real bus, only on a smaller scale. Next we have this Corgi bus, which I really admire. This is a little bit larger than 1/43rd scale, but it's just really neat. I like the paint schemes and design of this overall design, and it's a fairly recent model. It's probably from the 1990s, and I've had that since then. Got decals on the back and window glass, plus the seating arrangements. Driver's steering wheel, but no driver. Next we have these older Dinkies double-decker buses. This cream and green bus has no decals on it. There was an issue of a cream and green double-decker that did have decals, but this one does not. And in the same diecast is red and cream with Dunlop decal. It's the same body and configuration as this one, the cream and green. And we have got a third one, X-size batteries, which is the same diecast. It's been played with a little bit. It's got some chips on it. And we have some more up-to-date Dinky buses. This is Schweppes. And it has the route decals on there. And the route number. It's got the windows and seating, and there's a passenger there at the rear. Near the steps that go up to the upper deck. Here's the same die-cast with SO safety grip tires, and another figure in the back. And it's a real well done model. There's no chips on these. The tires are great. Window glass and seating are included. It does have a bus driver, as you can see right there. And we have a Yellow Pages bus by Dinky Toys. And this is from the 70s. A great graphics on this. let your fingers do the walking, and mint condition. We have a Corgi double-decker bus, and it also has a decal, welcome to Britain. Has route information decals on it. No figures, but almost like the diecast for Dinky Toys. And that's a Corgi. Now we have another Dinky Toy. This is British Overseas Airways Corporation, BOAC. It's a white roof over a dark blue, blue wheels. This is in mint condition, no chips, no windows, no seating, but it's a good model. And we have a Dinky Toy by Matchbox, Mercedes bus with a luggage rack on top, plus the ladder on the back to reach the luggage rack, decals, glass, seating, curtains. No driver by the steering wheel. Very good Mercedes model of a transit bus going to Stuttgart. Very nice model. This is from the late 90s. And we have two Dinky Toy buses that are kind of unique. They have a lever for chimes and a lever for opening and closing the doors. Now I understand that this one here is in cream and green, and this one is the same diecast in red. And I understand this red one is the more rare of the two. But if a kid would flick this lever, it rings a bell. And then this lever here on the other side near the roof operates opening and closing the doors. And it's a representation of a modern bus. It's got the window glass and the seats in it, decals, as well as the red one here. The red one has a different route decal on it, and it's a little bit different. It still has the button for closing and opening the doors, which I'll do. And it's got the lever for the chime, which really doesn't work too well. Next we have a Corgi that is a representation of a real streetcar that operated on Grand Avenue in St. Louis, Missouri. And the reason I got this is because I rode on a streetcar like this before they were phased out. And I do miss the old trolley streetcar rides. Number 70 Grand Avenue, which was a street here in St. Louis, which is about 40 miles long, I believe. It stretches from North St. Louis to South St. Louis. Grand Avenue, and it's a true representation of a streetcar that used to prowl the streets. It's electrically operated. Here's the staff that would attach to overhead lines and make the streetcar go. The authenticity of this streetcar is amazing. It has the decals of the transit system right there, and these are actual colors that they were in, white roof with red and a cream band along the windows. So this is I understand Corgi made a few other cities streetcars systems, and I was fortunate to get this one. Next we have a Dinky Toy school bus, which is pretty neat. This has been well played with too. It's got a lot of dents in it. I'm on my search yet to get a better model of this school bus, but it is kind of hard to find. Collectors really snatch these up when they can. And it's got window glass in it, and it does have seating in it, but the doors do not open. They do have decals on the back, and you can see the chips are all over this particular model. Now I want to show you my taxi cabs. I'm going to start with this 50 Chevy, which is a checker cab, and this was made by Solido. And this is a really good model. It's got the windshield wipers, taxi sign on the roof, clear glass or clear plastic headlights that look realistic. And this is from the 1990s. And we have another Dinky cab here. This one is in yellow and green, and I have the same diecast in black. I believe there was another color scheme, but the meter is there on the side, plus the driver, of course, is on the right hand side, being a British taxi cab. And this green, yellow over green is pretty neat itself too. I like these two-tone Dinkies that they produced. Now we have a Corgi 59 Chevy taxi cab with an antenna, the taxi sign on the roof, decals. This has glass and an interior in it. No driver. There's a famous gull wing rear end treatment, and that's a good representation of a 59 Chevy. Last but not least, we have a checker by Ertl, and this is a checker cab and a checker vehicle. Checker motors manufactured mostly taxi cabs for decades, and these were in abundance in most American cities until most taxi cabs were converted to Ford Crown Vics. Has interior and glass, no driver. And I have a rather inexpensive checker cab made in China. It's a no-name manufacturer, but I acquired this because it's got such neat graphics and a sign on the roof. And that's the only reason I got it, because it's very inexpensive, and of course it's made in China. So that's my collection of mass transit buses and taxi cabs. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for viewing.